welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashley, and today we are going to be talking about some books I have recently picked up, whether it was from a bookstore or if it was from like Pango books, which I use a lot. I'll actually link my Pango down in the description below if you want to follow me. But without further ado, let's get going. Just in time for spooky season, I actually got this from a indie bookstore called Books Around the Corner, and I just love this cover. I had another Frankenstein, but I didn't like the cover as much as I like this one, so I had to get it. I am like a book cover. If I see it and I like that cover, I have to have that cover. So I once bought a book like 3 different times just to get a specific cover. It was In Cold Blood by Truman Capote. Can't wait to read this. It's actually on my TBR for this month, so let's see if I actually get to it or not. May not, but we'll find out. Next book I picked up was The Haunting of Maddie Claire by Simone St. James. This book sounds good. It's a haunted house book, I think, and so totally down with that. I have read the Book of Cold Cases and Sundown Motel by this author, so I still need to read Broken Girls, and then I picked up this one because I guess it just got like a new cover and everything, and I am all here for it. Another book I recently picked up was Belladonna by Adeline Grace. I did read All the Stars and Teeth by this author. Wasn't the biggest fan, but this book does sound really good. And watch this. Look how pretty it looks naked. Like, yeah. So I'm excited to read this book. It sounds like a murder mystery, poison, whodunit, and I'm all here for that. So next one I got from Pango Books was Kill Creek. And so this sounds super good. It's a like haunted house story. I think a horror author is invited to come and stay the night at this haunted house. And so horror ensues, which I'm all for. So I really want to get to this book soon because it just sounds great. The next couple books I have gotten from Pango, all are Stephen King books. These two, Cujo and The Long Walk, I have read, and both are fantastic. I've listened to both of these on audiobook and finally wanted the covers or the books to add to my collection of King. So yes, this one, if you're not familiar with The Long Walk, this one's about like 100 boys, and they are made to walk until there's only one left. So it's similar to like Battle Royale, Hunger Games, except if you stop walking, you get shot and die, basically. So yeah, super good book. It's a shorter one of King's. It's written under the Richard Bachman pen name that he did, so really enjoyed it. And then Cujo, if you're unfamiliar with Cujo, it is a book about a dog that gets rabies and attacks a mother and son, and they are in a fight for survival. So it's kind of like a tight-knit horror, enclosed-spaced horror. So super good. It starts out a little slow because you know how King likes to build up until he drives the point home. So yeah, starts out just a little bit slow, but once it gets to the action, it's pretty intense, and I really felt so bad for the mother and son in this book, so really good. And then I have not read Firestarter yet. I did watch the movie ages ago and loved it, and I know there's a new one out now that I haven't seen yet, but yeah, Firestarter. So really need to read this one. I know it's a King classic, so yeah. My next book is Mary, An Awakening of Terror by Nat Cassidy, and this book I've seen it raved about a lot on like Book Talk / Bookstagram, and it sounds really good. I think it's about this woman who is going through a life change, but I think there's ghosts associated with it, so sign me up. I'm all for it. I think something about serial killers too. So anyway, sign me up. It sounds great. I cannot wait to read this. The next Book Talk sensation / Bookstagram sensation that I picked up is Tender is the Flesh by Augustina Bazterrica. And so this book is apparently about a dystopian future where all animal meat is like tainted. It like will give you some kind of like sickness, and so they've had to switch to human meat. So it sounds really gross. I have been putting off reading it because I'm not the biggest fan of like gore / body horror. I love horror. I like spooky stuff, but sometimes like body horror does get to me. But I've seen so many people raving about it, and I really do want to check it out. So I'm going to give it a shot eventually, but I really just wanted to own this book and eventually read it because I've heard so many mixed things about it, and I always like to make my own opinion. Another book I recently picked up was The Devil All the Time by Donald Ray Pollock. And so I know this book became a movie on Netflix starring Tom Holland, but it sounded really good. I think it's like a kind of generational horror or something, but it sounds like my cup of tea. I haven't read it yet. I just recently got it though, but I've heard about it for a while. So I am interested to dive into this whenever I get some time. The last book I picked up is Boy Parts by Eliza Clark. I actually heard about this book on a podcast and thought it sounded pretty interesting. I think it's about a woman who like takes pictures, like kind of like modeling pictures of men, but then it becomes something more and more extreme, I guess. So, well, that's a wrap on my book haul. So comment below what I should read first. And as always, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm at Pages and Ash. I'll put a link down below. And also, if you want to check out my Pango bookstore, I am always listing new books. So go visit it. Love you guys.